Hey everybody. Well, I have been quiet for a while, and think I went over why in the last video. Just the video things just may end up not being my thing anymore. Who knows? But every day things change. So we are Saturday, and this is the Saturday after Thanksgiving. Boy, I hope nobody tries to sue me for saying that word. I'm sure I discriminated against somebody. Oh well, piss off. Anyhow, yeah, we had the just an absolute freak snowstorm last weekend. Just absolutely got dumped on with snow. As you can see now, there is absolutely no trace of snow anywhere to be seen. Well, yeah, there's a couple little spots out there. But anyway, it's 50 degrees, windier than hell, so I decided to go fly. The main reason for going to fly today, well, let's go back to this one. I've had this old Goldberg Tiger 60 for many years, and this flies on a Ace Micro Pro 8000 single stick radio, converted to 2.4, and I absolutely love this airplane. And this airplane with this transmitter is just the coolest combination. Love it. So this little guy here, I am sure none of you have seen in my collection. And there's a reason why. I finished it about 2 hours ago. I built this plane from start to finish in less than 3 weeks. And this is a Fred Reese design, simple Taylorcraft 25. My good buddy Paul has one, and he let me fly it. Oh geez, it's been at least four or 5 years ago. And it was just such a fun little airplane. And I've always liked the looks of a Taylorcraft, and of course this is the simple Taylorcraft, so it's a very sport design. It's got some cool shapes to it. It was kind of a bitch to build, but really a neat airplane. I bought what I thought was going to be a kit from a friend of mine a few years ago, and it turned out just to be the wing kit, which is not a big deal because I paid $10 for it. So $10 for a set of plans and all the wood to build the wing, that's a hell of a bargain. So pretty much all scratch built. I had to redo some of the ribs because they were die crunched, and they were crunched. Holy mackerel. Because to my knowledge, this was never a kit through a major distributor. The plans were available through RCM. You can still get them on our Outer Zone and a couple other places, but just a cool little airplane. And what makes it even cooler is this bad boy right here. Now, for those of my viewers that have been in the hobby as long as I have, are probably dying with nostalgia at this point, because this radio, first of all, what is it? This is an Airtronics Spectra 7 PCM transmitter, 7-channel. For my newer viewers that are not really familiar with how the hobby was before the 2.4 days, not only is this on PCM channel 28, so big old fishing pole antenna that goes, about that high. This is a non-computerized radio, but it's fully adjustable. Check this out. That's how we had to do it back in the day. Dual rates, exponential, endpoint adjustments, curves, mixes, servo reversing. That's just cool. And I've had this radio in my collection for some time. Come on, focus, you stupid thing. I've had this radio in my collection for quite some time. Boy, this thing is just not focused. There we go. And I've been dying to use it, but I wanted to use it on the right airplane. And typically, I would not put one of my collection radios in a plane that I newly built, especially from scratch. Normally, I would put it in, like an old beater. But there's a reason that I have the utmost trust in this transmitter, because back in the days when this was still being produced and widely used, this was the best transmitter you could buy. Hands down. Now there was still JR, Futaba, you know, Graupner and other radios of that sort. But this transmitter here, I would very comfortably say that even to today's standards, this is the most reliable transmitter ever produced. Now don't be hating, because I have facts to back it up. Not going to get into it because it'd take me for frickin' ever. But the connectivity, is that even a word? I don't know. Sounds like it is, so we're going with it. Between the transmitter and receiver, the signal strength and the reliability has been unsurpassed to this day, in my opinion. Now I know with 900 megs and stuff like that, we can get a really, really long range. But for what this was intended for, which is line of sight flying, which is pretty far away, the signal strength of this transmitter could not be beaten. Not back in the day, not even now. Once again, there's exceptions because we're using different technology now. But I would feel comfortable putting this transmitter in a 200 mile an hour turbine jet. And you never know, this coming year, I just might do that. How cool would it be to put this Airtronics Spectre 7 in my boomerang? How cool would that be? I just might do it. We'll see. A little bit more on the airplane. First, this morning I opted to do some modifications to the transmitter. The batteries did work, but I didn't really trust them all that much. So I did my mod and put a 3-cell LiPo on the back just with some Velcro. Ooh, bet you guys missed that, huh? And that's just a good way to do it. So I got so many of these old radios that I still use. By going this route, I don't have to store them with a battery. So that's good. Put this aside for now. A little bit more on the airplane. Kind of getting to the looks of it. You know, look down the side of this airplane. It's got just really beautiful curves, and it's simple. Such a neat little airplane. And this is an old OS Max 25. This is not an SF, FSR, none of the above. This is the old OS Max 25. And it's old, it's crusty, kind of makes some weird sounds in the air, but it still runs good, and it powers this thing very well. Focus. This phone is terrible. I originally bought this. It was a used engine, and I bought it for my my Easy Super Chipmunk, the 25 size. And it just didn't have enough power for that airplane. It's a very heavy airplane for its size. It flies this thing unbelievably well. And this thing is so cool. I only got one flight on it. Not only was I not anticipating flying it today, I wasn't anticipating flying it this year. I don't know what it's been with me lately, but all my winter projects are pretty much done. And this one has flown. As of yesterday morning, this did not have covering on the wing. It did not have servos installed. Didn't even have a fuel tank. So yesterday I finished covering it. I got the wing all done, installed the servos, and this morning the fuel tank came in the mail. So I figured, all right, well, let's get it all put together. And I got it all put together by about 1 o'clock and looked outside, and it was halfway decent out, so decided to give it a whirl. Frickin' cool. And this is not monocoque. I am trying to adjust to the reality that monocoque will be disappearing. It's still there, but it's no longer being produced. Thanks, Horizon. You guys rock. So this is a combination of the Value Hobby white covering, and the red is Ultracoat. I'm never going to like Ultracoat. You can't force me to. I never will. If I have to use it, I'm not going to let a company like Horizon force me out of building. I'm not going to allow it to happen. I'll grit my teeth and deal with it. But I like the way monocoque handles. This white covering from Value Hobby, it has the monocoat gloss to it, but it acts more like the Ultra Coat as far as being a lower temperature film. But it's got the nice gloss, and it's stronger too. You can really put the heat to it, where with Ultra Coat, if you put too much heat to it, you'll burn a hole right through it. But as you can see, I can make any covering material look good. And this was a bitch. Oh my God, that was terrible. But as you can see, it looks really good. I still need to get the Dwayne Cole logo for the side because this is obviously modeled after his airplane. But it's just such a cool little airplane. So cool. And it flies great. Oh my God, it flies great. So that's where we're at. There still might be some flying days left this year. Not too into flying in the wintertime anymore, mainly because my cold weather flying buddy does not live near me anymore. And we would always wreak havoc in the wintertime, but that's kind of a thing of the past. So yeah, old Krusty flew really well. Couldn't be happier. This thing has got more packing tape on it than probably the amount of tape on packages at the UPS store. That's all that holds this plane together anymore is packing tape. Crappy Chinese covering, I tell you. Oh well. Well, I'm going to get these polished up and put away. I am going home a very, very happy man today. Like I said, as of this morning, this was still not being planned on flying until the spring, and here we are. Super happy. I do need to do another video on the prime stick. It is completely finished pretty much. It's all covered. Servos are installed. It's all programmed. I don't have an engine yet because of the lovely times we're in. I still need to get an engine. So that's going to take some time. And I have a set of plans on the way from Germany. Hopefully I'll get them sometime this century, of a possible future project. And I'm not going to go into detail what it is, but the plans are for a 54-inch airplane. Well, that's going to be increased by 100%. So it's going to be 100 and it's probably going to be right around 100, 105-inch wingspan if I decide to build it. We'll see. I'm enjoying so much of this old school sport plane glow stuff. Hell, I just might sell all my giant scale and all my turbines. I doubt it, but you never know. All right. Until next time, later.